Okay, you guys, so this video is going to be all about my planned C-section. We got a double stroller here, but before we get into that, I just want to remind you guys that you have a couple days left to sign up for our Patreon membership this month. Every month we do new headshots. If you sign up by the 10th of the month, you get it on the 15th. So if you sign up by June 10th, you'll get it on June 15th. And these are the headshots of the month. This will end the pregnancy era of TRISH. So you get this if you're in the headshot tier, and then if you're in our producer tier, you get this, plus these little pearly cards, plus a handwritten note from me to you and your name in the credits of our podcast episodes as producers. So if you go to patreon.com/justtrish, we do our monthly memberships, and we really appreciate you guys supporting the podcast, supporting us. We love you more than anything. I hope you guys enjoy this video about my C-section experience. I know it's very niche, very particular, but if you are about to experience something like this or trying to make out your birth plan, I hope this helps you. And it's a fun, positive C-section story. So it's not a scary one. So I hope it can give you some peace of mind. Love you guys. Hey everyone. Hey, what's up you guys? How crazy to be making a video on this channel as a wife with 2 kids and a mortgage payment. Like, what? Like, even 2019 Trish wouldn't believe it. Like, I started this channel in 2007. 2007 Trish definitely wouldn't believe it, but also 2019 Trish wouldn't believe it either. I have a baby monitor down there, so I'm looking there. Hi, it feels so weird to do this because, as you guys know, I've been doing a podcast pretty much full time, and I'm so thankful for it. It is literally the most fun I've had ever on YouTube in all my content creating days in every format, you know, vlogging, mukbangs, ASMR, you know, friend groups, whatever it is. This has been the absolute best time of my life, doing a podcast out of my basement with Oscar, who I have loved for so long. We've known each other for over a decade. My husband built this amazing set. He's down there doing the audio and the lighting, and it's just this like small little team, and we have no rules and no one to answer to, and we actually make money doing it, and it's like really, really, really fun, and we get to gossip. It's my little social session. And I get to spend a lot of time with my kids, and it's been wonderful. And I don't have to stress about doing TikTok and, you know, OF or ASMR, just doing like 5,000 things. It's been such a blessing to have this one job be amazing, great, consistent, and I have fun doing it, and people like it. It's an absolute dream come true. And I'm sorry I haven't been posting or doing much on this because not only are we doing the podcast, we have a Patreon where we basically do 2 extra videos a week. We do an extended podcast, and then me and Oscar get together and we do like a reaction video or a mukbang or something. Moses did a cooking video for that. So, and thank you guys for the way for going to Patreon, patreon.com/justtrish. But I love this channel. You know, this is the channel that I started on when I was 18 years old in my little Hollywood apartment. And YouTube has been my bread and butter ever since, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm so thankful. You guys know the jobs I've had in the past. I don't need to rehash those, but I am, oh my god, I'm so thankful that this has been my job for it's 18 years. I'm 36 years old. Crazy. So sorry if I'm looking down, it's like the monitor just to make sure everything's okay. Mab was actually taking a nap, and Mo's upstairs with Alphys. So yeah, so okay, all right, I want to make this video, like, let me not like just take up too much time just talking because I missed you guys, but this is a very specific, very niche video. If you've seen the title, oh, it must be Elvis up there with him. If you've seen the title, it's going to be about my scheduled C-section. So like, if this is something that just like does not pertain to you, I totally get it. I'm actually making this video to ease the mind of people who are getting a scheduled C-section. I think it's important that I make this video because I've had a really good experience, and it's like not scary at all in my experience. To know every experience is different. They can go better than mine. There could be mishaps. And I've seen a lot of scary ones, and before mine, I was watching kind of some of the scary ones, specifically about the epidural or the spinal tap, and I kind of was like thinking these bad things in my head. I'm like, oh my god, what if it goes wrong? Like all this stuff, and I was like, it was the wrong mind frame to have going in there, because the only thing I thought of going wrong was the spinal tap, and it went a little wrong, but nothing crazy, and I'm here and sitting to tell the tale. So I am 2 weeks postpartum as I'm making this, and so I still have the tape over my stitches. Obviously, I took the dressing off. I've been able to shower over them. This is my second C-section. I had I did labor for my first one. My water broke. I labored for about 7 hours, pushed for about 3 hours. And then they put me into an emergency C-section because my daughter's heart rate was dropping and she was kind of breached. Her face was kind of stuck up. So they're like, let's just go to a C-section. I have a whole video about that. I can link that below, my labor and delivery story for my first daughter. But this was quite a different experience. Okay. So for this one, we had the C-section plan from like really the beginning. We basically made our hospital date like 6 or 7 weeks finding out I was pregnant. So I was like, okay, it's probably gonna change because he's like, okay, you can change whatever. So they gave us the due date of May 31st, and you can do it a week before. So we got the May 24th date. And we didn't choose it other than that was the soonest we could do. Our doctor was supposed to be out of town. He ended up staying in town, but he was supposed to be out of town, so that's why it was the 24th and not like sooner. I think the 24th was the soonest we could do while he was in town. So we're like, yes, we'll take the 24th. And at first I was really happy with the scheduled C-section because I was like, honestly, it just sounded easier from the beginning because I did have a C-section before. You can obviously do vaginal after C-section. I just know there's like more complications sometimes. I don't know. I'm not an expert at that. Go watch someone's story time on that. But I was like, you know what? I really liked the C-section. And even though I wanted to push, I was like, I think I'm a C-section girly because I've had surgeries before. I had boob job, I had lipo, I had a BBL. I was like, you know, I'm kind of somewhat used to it. So yeah, so scheduled C-section. So we had a schedule for May 24th. I was convinced this baby was gonna come sooner. Everyone had told us that the second baby came like weeks earlier. And I also just thought they didn't know our due date because with my first daughter, they had a due date that was like September 30th and then it changed to like September 18th and then we had her on the 14th. So I just like, they probably just got it, you know, it's hard to tell at the beginning stages. So I was determined she was gonna be a Taurus baby. I thought she was gonna be at my birthday, which is like May 8th. I thought for sure Mother's Day. I was like, okay, she's coming. I had Braxton Hicks. I kept feeling contractions, like, we never went to the hospital, but I kept thinking like, okay, my water's gonna break tonight. We're gonna get, you know, all that stuff. Now, the greatest benefit of a C-section, especially if you already have a child, is you don't have to worry about like calling your mom or whoever's gonna watch your baby, your toddler at home in the middle of the night. Cause I was so worried, like, okay, I'm gonna call my mom. What if she doesn't answer? Like, what if the contractions are so bad? Cause my first contractions were so bad. I'm like, what if my first contractions are like, what if they're so bad? Like, I can't even wait for her to come over. Obviously, we have to. Like, it was just all that stuff. Like, I was worried about that, but I shouldn't have because I literally just, so we knew it's a Friday, it's May 24th, the surgery was scheduled for 7:30, we had to get there at 5:30. It goes by so fast, those 2 hours. You get there early, you know, they have you clean up, you take your shower beforehand with like antibacterial. We did our blood work the day before, so we didn't have to do all that. So it was really calm. We walked to the hospital, it was 5:30 in the morning, me and my husband. We were super excited. I wasn't in any pain and I was like, this is kind of nice. So we walked in and just everything was already registered. Blood work was already there and they gave me my gown and I was even like vlogging a little bit. And yeah, that was in my birth vlog video. If you guys want to see that, we were just together and it was so beautiful before and after. But before it was just us two together, ready to welcome in this like new life that we've created. And we had no idea like who this person was going to be that we're going to meet, right? We knew she was going to be wonderful and special because she was made for both of us, but you just don't know. And that's like, it's the most exciting thing ever. So it was like our last, it was just like us time again. And it was very, very special. And we just sat together and talked and just was excited, just talking about what she's going to look like and what she's going to be like. Everyone came in, was doing the IVs, the vital, the heartbeat for the baby. Just, it was very calm. Everyone introduced themselves. And it was just very, very calm. And then like, we're just going to walk you in. So that was the other thing. Like a lot of times, I guess in plastic surgery, they walk you in too. But my unplanned C-section, I was just rolled on over and putting more fentanyl in my epidural. And I was just like out of it completely. I was very aware and coherent. They walked me into the operating room. I'm literally like, sitting there and I'm hugging a pillow. There's an anesthesiologist and a nurse. That's it in the room, like hugging it. They wouldn't let my husband in. I guess it's because they think it's uneasy for them to watch. He watched my first epidural, but for some reason they would not let him in during the spinal tap part. Could have used his like support or just his presence, but it's okay. So the anesthesiologist, he had me like wrap me thing where I was like hunched like this, wrapped around a pillow. And this was the part that I was most scared of because like obviously once you're numb, like you don't feel anything, you know what I mean? And obviously recovery can be scary too, but I was like most scared of this epidural, or I keep calling it epidural, spinal tap, which is kind of like an epidural. It goes in your spine. So, so I was seeing so many like epidurals gone wrong, spinal taps gone wrong. I didn't really know about missing the spot. I did watch the LeBrant family like delivery video of their 5th baby that was born, I think a couple of weeks before. And she felt like a shock. And I think you heard it. I think they might have edited that. I don't know. Maybe they didn't. I didn't hear a shock, but I felt what felt like a shock through my hip. So basically, I was hunched over. They numb you first, which is like, they call it a bee sting, and then it burns for 10 seconds. It wasn't that bad, but it did numb, because when they did do the spinal tap, which is the larger needle, I didn't feel it necessarily go in. I did, however, feel it kind of crank. I don't know if that's like what they do back there. I couldn't see. So I felt the crank. I was like, oh, I don't know if you're supposed to feel that, but the one thing they also tell you, like, don't do, like, is if you sit up or if you contract during your epidural, you could be paralyzed. That's what I kept hearing. And I was like, oh my God, why did I watch that? But thankfully I actually did watch the LaBrant one, which was just a shock. And I think that was more what I was visualizing, and the shock happened in my hip. So I don't know. I don't think I think it was too low in my back. So I don't know what that means, but that did feel like a shock through my hip. It happened twice, I believe. Maybe 3 times. They were trying to talk to me and like calm me down. I was pretty calm, and then that happened and I started to freak out a little bit, especially because I kept jolting up, and I was like, oh, it's really, really painful. So by the second or third, maybe it was the third, I was like, you guys, I really think I need to lay down. Like, I think I'm gonna pass out, because I've always said I was a baby with pain and needles. I've been pretty strong through my pregnancies, but this one definitely, I was like, I'm gonna pass out. So then my OBGYN comes in, the one who's going to deliver our baby, and I love him so much. I love our doctor so much. And he's kind of feeling, because they kind of feel like they kind of put a lot of pressure, kind of starts feeling like the back, right? And he's like, let's just try one more time. So he has him like go a little higher. And no, I felt nothing. All of a sudden, it was like warm, almost like liquidy, like sensation, like water sensation. That's what it felt like inside, like going internally. And all of a sudden, I was like, I'm going numb. I'm going numb. And a lot of people, I had heard from their experiences that they like go numb instantly, like really quick. And like they were kind of scared. Like they felt like, oh my God, I can't move my body. For me, it's a very relaxing experience. I don't know. All of a sudden, I was like, oh, I'm going numb. And even after, I think I stayed numb for about a day. And the stories I heard, everyone was really scared of that. I'm here to tell you, for me personally, I found it quite relaxing. I was like, oh, this is kind of nice. And they actually test to see if you're numb by like kind of sticking you with like a needle or something. I don't know. Because they're like, oh, have you felt anything? It's like, no. And they're like, okay, you're good, you know. But it does go, it's a slow rise. So sometimes your toes are the last to go numb, they said. So like if you still feel your toes, it's fine. But, you know, I wasn't necessarily scared of feeling stuff. Maybe a little bit, because my first C-section, I was so out of it. They had given me the fentanyl that I was just like, don't remember a thing. I was like, oh, ooh, like, there's a baby. Where? Who's that baby? This one, I'm like super, whatever they gave me in this one, like it's strong, but I have full function of my brain and my hearing and my eye. Like, I hear and see everything. This time I did experience kind of like, you could feel tugging and pressure and pulling, like, which is also sounds very scary, because I was like, I don't want to feel anything, but it's actually not that bad. And if anything, it makes it feel less kind of, it's kind of like, oh, they're just kind of tugging down there. And if you actually visualize a C-section, right? Okay, for me, I don't know why, and this doesn't make no sense. I think of myself as like on like the Operation game with the guy that's like completely open. And that's what I always thought, because they always say like intestines are coming out and stuff. So I always just envisioned like my whole body and organs exposed, and they just like lift the baby out. It doesn't even make sense, because there's no scarring around there. Your scar is so tiny. It could be long, it could be whatever, but it's literally underneath your belly, or like right above, you know, it's like that right kind of where a fupa would be, or if you're skinny, I don't know what's there, but it's just like right, it's very low, like below your underwear line. And mine's very tiny. My scar is like maybe that long, and obviously super thin. It's stitches. So they're really pushing a baby down and out through your little pouch, which is, again, kind of more calming and relaxing than thinking about like your whole body exposed and just like organs being taken out, because, you know, you hear your uterus is out and all this. Can be crazy. You know, obviously if you're kind of queasy, I wouldn't recommend listening to that kind of stuff. But in general, this time, because I was so much more aware, and they tell you right before the baby is about to come out, like, you're going to feel like 2 big pushes. And because I had 2 doctors, I had the OBGYN, and then there was like a new doctor. I think that's how it was before. I think there's always 2 doctors at the C-section. I could be wrong, but so my doctor was like, she's going to push. You're going to feel kind of like a pressure push. And again, it's so minimal, the pressure you feel, in my experience. So again, I'm fully awake. I'm fully coherent for this. And yeah, they do have your husband come in, and my anesthesiologist the first time talked to me a lot, but this anesthesiologist was like, okay, husband, like, distract her. And Moses is just like not really a talker, but in a way, like, as far as this, he's very like, I don't know what the word is, not serious, just like calm and quiet during this. He was the first time as well, and it's almost something I kind of need, is that calmness. But we did talk. I just kept smiling at him because I was like trying not to like psych myself out, and he was smiling at me. I'm like, this is crazy, like, you know what I mean? And so they're pushing the baby out. It took literally a total of 10 minutes. I think we actually started the surgery at like 7:45. She was delivered at like 8:01 a.m. They did it so fast, so quick, and you hear those baby cries come out, and you're just like, you just mush because you just want to hear those cries so bad to know that she's okay, that she's out. And they kind of like lifted her up Simba style over the curtain, because you do have a curtain so you can't look. They also kind of have your arms to the side. An anesthesiologist is monitoring your breathing. There's a lot of people in the room. I would say there's like 10 people in the room. A lot of people in the room, which is, again, for me, it was calming. There's people monitoring me, my arms, like they're monitoring the baby, like the weight. It's a whole production, and the medical professionals, you're just beautiful and wonderful, from the nurses to everyone, to literally everybody doing vitals and baby hearing, and obviously the doctor delivering, the anesthesiologist. Like, y'all are angels on earth. Like, you are in a life and death situation with so many people on a day-to-day basis, on an hour-to-hour basis, and you guys do such a good job. And you know, our hospital that we give birth in is actually very small. It's not like a fancy hospital by any means. Our room's always it's very small, very confined, but it works for us. It's close to our house. Our OBGYN delivers there that we love. You know, there's really nothing fancy. There's no fancy cafeteria, nothing. It's just, it's minimal, it's simple, and it's beautiful, and it's wonderful. And everyone there is so nice and so great. And when that baby comes out, our OBGYN is amazing. He might be retiring soon, I don't know, but he is so calm throughout the pregnancy, throughout the birth. He's like, everything's fine, you're great. He's never once made me feel scared or worried. He's like, you got this. It's, you know, it's easy. So he's wonderful. He delivered in Malibu, and he delivered Elvis, and we're so thankful. Elvis came out weighing 9 pounds and 7 ounces, which was crazy. And so then after the C-section, what can you expect? So they do take your baby and weigh and clean her off. But like I said, they kind of did a Simba thing where they showed her to me kind of with there's like a white film on them that they kind of absorb that like helps protect them. My baby was very big. My water also didn't break, and she had water in her lungs. So what I was hearing before they brought her over to me, because I did do skin to skin this time, I heard like gurgling in her lungs, and I heard my husband being like, is she okay? Is she okay? And like, it's actually really normal for big babies, and if your water didn't break. So then they brought the baby over to me right away. The first time they brought the baby to me, I like gave her a kiss, but I was like out of it. I could not hold my baby. This time I could actually hold my baby. We did skin to skin. They were taking photos, and then I was like, okay. And then I was like, okay, let me pull my like gown up a little bit because we're taking photos and I wanted to post those or whatever. Because it's like the moment you meet your daughter, it's like, or your child, and it's the most beautiful thing ever. So they did do skin to skin. They like pulled my thing. I had an oxygen mask during my C-section, which, I guess I didn't know I had. I saw in like the picture, they like put it up. And they did skin to skin, and yeah, I got to hold her, and it was like so surreal because they're like still stitching up, but it was the best thing because it seemed like they stitched me up in like a matter of like 10 minutes. Like realistically, it probably was like 30 minutes or something, but it seemed like they stitched me up so quick because by the time they took my baby and my husband went with my baby to go do like vitals or whatever else they needed to do, they're like, okay, you're done. We're going to like roll you over on the other side of the bed. Now, if you're a big girl like I was 263 when I gave birth, which is big. I'm 5'3", okay? 263, never been that big in my life. 250 was what I weighed when I gave birth to my first daughter. I was like, okay, big girl. They have to like lift you out of the operation table and put you back on like your bed that you're going to go back into your room on. And I'm very aware and coherent, and like I'm present. So I was like, how are they going to do this? How are they going to just slide me on over? They do it somehow. I don't know. I don't know if they put like a little like tarp underneath you and kind of like a whale, like kind of just like throw you over there. I'm not sure, but they say that like you're going to feel like you're going to be falling and rolling over. I was like, oh my God. I didn't really feel that too much, but they got me over there somehow. Thankful for them. And then they roll you on back to your room. And then I basically just stayed in the same room the whole time. Now, normally you can expect to stay for a C-section for 4 days. I think they recommend. We stayed 2 for my first one, and I stayed 24 hours for this one because I wanted to get home so badly to my toddler daughter. As much as I was like loving the aftermath, and you can see that in my labor and delivery, the aftermath of this C-section was beautiful for me. I miss my daughter so much, and I knew she was missing us so much because we are a tight, tight family. When I say I had spent one night away from her. Moses has never spent a night away from her, and I knew she was going to be like heartbroken. And she obviously had fun with my mom. And like, look, do they remember at 1.5? Maybe not. But we're just very close. We all sleep in like the same bedroom. Like we're together all the time. So I was like, I need to get home to her because I was enjoying myself so much after. I almost was like, this would be perfect if Malibu was here. But not to say that we didn't get to enjoy this time with Elvis. I feel like your second child should be just as, celebrated individually. Obviously, I'm a middle child, so I was the second born, and it's like you don't remember, of course, time where like, I don't know, you don't know anything else, so that's just what it is. But we really enjoy the time with Elvis as well. If you know anything about newborns, they sleep a lot, especially in those first few days. And when you're in the hospital, it is actually really nice because the staff will help you change diapers, just, make it easy, whatever it is, feedings, all that stuff. They were really busy when I gave birth because there's another hospital close by that their labor and delivery closed or something. So there was like a ton of mothers coming in and C-sections. We were the first to go, so it was nice. But it was also nice that it was crowded because the first time nurses were coming in at all hours of the day, just constantly like, I don't know, having me get up and checking and vitals and poking the baby. And this one, we really saw nurses like during the day, like not at all, maybe like once. I was fine with it. And then at night, they start coming in a little more to be like, okay, let's check I guess they came in to check the catheter, probably maybe twice. I don't know. They come in to check your catheter, and that was pretty much it. And then at nighttime, yeah, they try to get you to walk around. They do like your vitals and stuff like that. And so I fell asleep at like 8 o'clock at night, but I really was up at like 3 a.m. because I was thinking about Malibu, and I was just like, I just really want to get home. So thankfully, I don't know if it's mind over matter, I was able to like stand up on my own just fine the first time. I was able to, sit on the toilet just fine, clean myself off just fine. You have a nurse helping you, but I was really confident in it. So basically at like 5 in the morning or 6 in the morning, we just say before the doctors do their rounds, like, hey, is there any chance we could go home? They're like, it's kind of unlikely that people like want to do that or we should do it. But if you're feeling fine, like, we'll have the doctors come look at the baby and you, and we'll like make an assessment, but we'll let the doctors know that's what you want to do, and we'll see what they say. So we let them know really early on the day after that we wanted to go home. And basically they took my catheter out and they're like, hey, we just gotta make sure you can pee on your own. And I passed with flying colors twice. I was able to walk around the hospital unit. I was like good. I was like brushing my hair. I was doing a photo shoot with my robe. Not only did I want to prove to them that I was fine to go home, I wanted to prove to myself. Now, 24 hours, the numbness is still there, so it's like not really worn off yet. So I actually truly felt 100% fine. I was like, I feel like I didn't even have surgery. Now coming home, and I wasn't taking pain pills right away. Yeah, it's a little, standing up is a little tough, and lifting isn't obviously no. But I got the ibuprofen, and I actually did get the subscription I got some sort of opioid, but I don't think I used it. What was it? I don't remember. I can't remember, but I ended up taking the ibuprofen because I just kind of needed it for a couple days, but I only took one a day and it was fine. If you guys know anything about me, I have a history with pills. I'm not really like addict, but like I can be with pain pills. So yeah, so it was, just know like that day after, it's kind of like, oh, everything's fine because I was still kind of numb. Speaking of being numb, so that day of surgery, right? We get out of surgery. I'm back in my bed at 9 a.m. I'm kind of sleeping to like 10 or 11 because they give me Benadryl, I was itching. I guess you itch for some reason. So I was itching. They give me Benadryl. I shouldn't be sleeping for a while. I wake up kind of like I still feel really good. And yeah, the baby is just kind of sleeping. And so me and Moses, I'm laying in the bed. Moses has a chair next to my bed. And we kind of just talk from like 11 a.m. to like 8 p.m. at night, like 9 hours of just talking. And again, I'm on pain medication that I guess they're giving me through my IV, but my legs are completely numb. I don't have to even go up to use the bathroom because I have a catheter in me. And I'm just kind of vibing, and I'm just kind of like, Moses, I love you so much. I am now free. My body feels like, I can breathe again. I feel like just lighter. My baby is here and healthy. Everything just feels good. I look at Moses so lovingly, so affectionately. Like I'm telling you guys, when I had this C-section, like I really feel like my brain was altered a little bit because I look at a lot of things differently now. And I don't know if it's just because I had a second baby or what, but like everything just feels different and better. Like I feel more confident in my mothering skills. Me and Malibu are closer than ever. Me and Moses are closer than ever. I just look at him with such like love and like passion and excitement. And not to say I didn't before, but you know, you have a toddler, you have a 1.5-year-old, which is, you know, it's a lot on its own, you know. I don't know when's the last time we cuddled to go to sleep, you know. It's such a different life when you have young kids and you do it because that's the choice you made, and it's beautiful, it's wonderful, but like you do get less time together. Should be a no-brainer, like of course, duh. But you know, it never really prepares you, right? Because we were always so like by each other's side, and we still are, but now we have this new we have something bigger than us, you know what I mean? And something that takes priority and stuff. So it was just like the first time we like reconnected really like deeply and spiritually, and I don't know, it was just nice, you know. And Moses is like the best husband ever. He always makes sure I feel special, like even like through everything he always does. And I never expect that. I always tell him, I'm like, you, especially for birthdays, Valentine's Day, all this like that, I'm like, you don't have to do anything. But even just like weekends, he'll like make me breakfast in bed. And I tell him, I'm like, you really don't have to do that. Like he does so much for me and Malibu all the time, and Malibu so much. He's so like dedicated and just like really a super dad. So I was like, don't do extra for me. Just everything you do for her is like all I could ever ask for. Like you are just the best dad. So I'm always like, just all that energy can go to her, but he somehow finds double the energy to give to us, and he's just wonderful. So but like I said, you know, it's just, you know, sometimes it just happens. Pregnancy for me, my last month, I'm in bed at 3 o'clock. I'm tired. I'm so tired. I can't breathe. I can't exercise. Food, it doesn't even sound good to me, but I have to eat, and it like makes me feel sick because I'm carrying so high. It's just like, it's just a lot. It took a toll on me this past month, and I was definitely a little moody for sure. So just kind of being back to ourselves and just being us, but then also us with 2 new lives that we created, and just, I don't know, just getting to talk and just, I don't know. I just remember being like, I love you so much. Like, this is like, you are my dream come true. You are my answered prayer. Like, and I think my appreciation for Moses has like skyrocketed times 1,000, and my love and my like my deep love for him, like even more than ever. You know what I mean? I don't know. I look at him and I'm just like, this is an actual like answered prayer. Like this feels like heaven sent, match me, twin flame, whatever you want to, I don't know what, soulmate. Like it just, I don't know. Like I can't even imagine like life without him, and I don't want to, and I never have to, because I just pray every day. I'm like, please give us 50 years together, and, you know, see our babies grow up and get married and start their families. And, you know, I want to just be with him. And then whenever our time comes, I want to just be together. And as long as our kids are like taken care of and they're happy and they're good and they'll know we'll be good, whatever life we go into after this. Sorry, I get like so deep, but I can't do life without Moses. I don't want to do life without Moses. And, he's made like every dream of mine come true. He's helped me in every aspect of my life, like the superficial parts of this world, like financial, and like just you might like the eating. Like I would always like want to starve myself, and he's just like, instead of like starving myself, he's like, you have to eat, but then like helps me find this balance and stuff like that. Like he helped me save money, he helped me get out of debt. Like he just, all those superficial things, but on top of that, then too, like really showed me like love. Like he showed me that he loves me and that I should like love myself. And this was back in 2021, where I'm like, this person's standing by me and he loves me this much. Like I need to stand by myself and love me this much. I need to respect myself as much as this man is respecting me, and not only better myself, but just also make sure I'm the best version for him, because he really brings out the best in me. So then to say we created these 2 beautiful daughters, and not only that, he's just like the most amazing dad, healing my inner child. And I'm just like, okay, my daughters are gonna have the best dad and best upbringing, and they're gonna feel so loved, and it's beautiful. So whew, and I thank you. I give my gratitude every single day. Like I'm so thankful. So, and the reason this might be kind of fast, maybe I'm speaking fast, is I want to get this out. I think it's really important because my scheduled C-section was a beautiful experience. Just being free of my body for like a day was kind of wonderful, and getting it scheduled and just knowing what was going to happen and meeting my team and just having it all done quickly. Everything was done within, from the minute the operation room to the minute she started breathing, it was like 15 minutes. So it's a beautiful experience. It's quick. I understand there's people that would rather not do surgery. They think vaginal may be more natural. They don't want to have stitches or scarring or cut open, or there's own risks and complications associated with the C-section. But for me, it was really wonderful. I would choose it time and time again. I think I read you're only supposed to have like 3 C-sections or something like that. I think we're good with 2 kids, also our ages. I think if we were younger and I didn't have the C-section, I think if we would have met in our 20s and started having babies, I would have probably had 10 with him. I'm obsessed with our babies. I'm obsessed with him and making babies and and just making an impact on the world and like raising good kids, and hopefully they can be the change in the world in the future. I hope this world lasts. I'm gonna get more into like what is it called, like environmental stuff that's good for the environment. I'm going to try and get it more to that because I want this world to last. I want our kids to make it wonderful and beautiful and bright in every single way. And yeah, the reason I said I was rushing this is because Malibu naps for like an hour sometimes. Like since we had the baby, she's kind of like napped again because she kind of stays up kind of late with us and gets up kind of early. So she's been like napping, which is like totally great and cool. So this is our time where we usually we were watching Bridgerton, but the second half isn't up yet. So it's our time that we can watch our shows, because at night now, Malibu kind of like understands the shows and she like will get nightmares or something. We don't watch anything scary, but obviously we don't want her knowing any F words because she repeats everything. She's like a parrot. So we were watching like Curb Your Enthusiasm and we're like, okay, we cannot watch the show with her. She don't repeat anything, but you know what I mean? And just like my shows that I like too, if they're anything like nothing sexual or anything, because she's young, but we've been watching like old America's Got Talent. Well, the new one just started, The Boys, like Masked Singer, or like those kind of shows because she likes to dance and stuff. If you have any recommendations for like nighttime shows for 1.5-year-old, let me know. She usually plays. We're usually in here and she's like playing, but she'll watch sometimes or come up when she's tired and like kind of like lay on the couch with us. But so this is usually like our little time that we have carved aside. And Elvis sleeps so much, so she'll sleep. But so yeah, I gotta go run and have that time, or watch TikToks, obviously, for Hot Topics. We like to watch them together. So that's kind of why I didn't want to like take too much time, but I really wanted to make this video because I just thought if someone is looking for someone's positive experience with a C-section and really happy and honestly like peaceful, kind of like relaxing vibes, this is the video for you. Because even with the spinal tap gone a little bit wrong, they got in the wrong spot. It was a click. It was a little shocking. I think it was more in my head where I thought I was going to pass out, but I'm okay. I did jolt and I'm fine. I would not recommend doing it if you can, but don't let those kind of things scare you, or don't let them get into your head before. Just know that they do these all the time. There's C-sections performed every single day. They've done this for, I think someone told me like 30 years ago they had a C-section. I'm sure maybe they did it even longer. The majority of them go very, very well. And, just like there's really great home birth stories and water birth stories and vaginal stories, this is a really great C-section story. And for me, it was the best method for both my daughters and myself. Healthy, happy, recovered quickly. I was back to work within like 9 days. I was walking around the next day. So stay strong, hang tough. Whatever is your easiest, whatever makes you feel best, I would choose as your birth plan, whatever it is. Because I wanted vaginal at first because like it's very natural. That's how women have always done it. But now I love a C-section. I was like, you know what? I'm a plastic surgery girly. Why not have my baby just, pushed out of me, Yeah, it was great. But it's nice to give you that option. And I don't want to hear any judgy people in the comments towards me or anyone else, because what works for you, works for you. Works for us, works for us. I think a lot of time people don't even know their options. So again, this is just coming from me, my doctor. We talked about doing a scheduled C-section because I had my emergency C-section. But however you want to do it, do it. Just know that this was a very positive experience and it was not scary at all. And I was in literally zero pain for all of it. A little bit for the spinal tap, but very minimal. It was more like, again, just like a shock that I was like, wait, am I supposed to feel this in my hip sort of thing? Rather than like, pain. I did just go, a little bit. It was quick. So, all right, guys. Thank you guys for all the love. I appreciate you so, so much. I love you. And I can't believe I'm here sharing my C-section stories. Who would have thought 18 years ago this is where I would be? But I'm so thankful for it. I'm thankful for the internet. I feel like this can be somewhat of an educational video to help others. And I love you guys. I'm a mom of 2. It's crazy. Oh my God. Like, what? It's literally a dream come true. And it's definitely the happiest I've ever been. So, and postpartum is going good. It's always good to monitor your signs. I had some crying. If you saw my labor and delivery video, I definitely had some crying postpartum. I think that's very natural, normal, healthy, but definitely monitor the signs. Hormones are all over the place, baby blues, all that stuff like that. You're not alone. And yeah, hopefully this can ease some of y'all's mind. I love you guys so much. I like you guys so much. I love you guys so much. And I'll see you in my next video. Who knows what that's going to be? I don't even know. Where do I go from here, really? Like, when is the next video? Am I like, okay, back to McDonald's? Oh, no, I guess we're not doing McDonald's now. Like, where do I go from here? What does this channel become? I don't know. But I guess we'll wait and see. We'll find out. I know I love you guys, and I'll never stop posting here. This is my day one. You are my day ones. And I love you guys. See you in the next video. Good vibes.